Hi, my name is Heather and I'm here to talk to you about eligibility criteria and what that means as you're preparing your IRB application for Heritage University. Eligibility criteria are really important to consider, and sometimes you have to think about it and discuss it with others to really narrow down exactly what you mean. Eligibility criteria are the list of criteria for someone that is going to be in your study. It's required that the person who's going to be in your study meet this certain list of criteria. And you want to be as specific as you possibly can. So if you were going to be a possible participant and you were reading a flyer or an email or looking at a sign somewhere, that you would know whether or not you were able to participate in the study. That's how clear the eligibility criteria need to be when you're preparing your IRB application and the materials. So this is how to think about it. When you are thinking about who's eligible for your study, you want to really think, who are your participants? You want to be as specific as you possibly can in who you're trying to reach and who you actually need to be in the study. And sometimes just jotting it down can really help you consider who's going to be in my study. If I want to have a certain group of people, what do those people need to have? What are the characteristics? What are the things that they must possess in order to be in my study? So as you're considering your IRB process and your IRB application, one of the very first things to do when you're considering human participants is to consider who can be in your study. Clarity is really important. And again, clarity is about who would see your flyer and know whether or not they were able to participate in your study. You would want them to simply look at the list of criteria and know, yes, I'm able to participate, or no, I am not able to participate. So again, consider how you could write those criteria. Keep the following things in mind. You're going to want to include if they have to be 18 or older, if it would be something that minors could possibly fit into the criteria for. So for example, let's say you wanted to talk about dog walkers. A dog walker could be a 12-year-old or it could be a 70-year-old. So when you have specific criteria, you would say, I want dog walkers who are over 18 years old. So the age requirement would be dog walkers greater than 18 years old. So that's how specific you want to be. If you have any types of specific organizations, so for example, if you want dog walkers who work for Google, then you would want to say, I want people who walk dogs and work for Google. That way, it's very precise who's going to be in your study. And if you have multiple participant populations, like if you have dog walkers and you have dog owners, you can include exactly what's going to be for both of those groups. So maybe the dog walkers have to be greater than 18 years old, but the dog owners you want greater than 30, and you can list them out. Here's the criteria for the dog walkers. Here's the criteria for the dog owners. Just like if you were going to have students and teachers, you want to clearly have each group and what their the eligibility criteria would be to be in that group. Finally, you're going to want to consider what those eligibility criteria are. Write them out, make sure they're very clear, and they're going to show up in 3 parts. They're going to show up in the recruitment section of your IRB application, in your recruitment materials, and also in your consent letter or your assent letter if you're using minors. So the materials will be exactly the same as what you put up in your flyers and will be exactly the same as what you have for your consent letter. So there's consistency across all of the materials. Again, you want to make sure they're very clear and very concise so that a participant would know whether or not they should be in your study. Thank you so much. We look forward to helping you. Any questions, please email irb@heritage.edu. Have a good day.